Everybody, welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 89. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 911, and today I'm joined once again. However, it's not Ninja no more. He's got a new pep to his step. It's Kyle, aka Mr. K-Step. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me back. I'm happy that it's under my new moniker. And, I'm happy I found something that I'm proud of now.
There you go.
Because the other one, I was like, that's tied to like a throwaway 30 Rock joke that like doesn't fit me. I'm tired of people. I don't know if you're familiar with like football and like the football fandoms, but the New Orleans Saints always say "Who dat?" And I've always mistaken for like a Saints fan or somebody from New Orleans. So I'm happy that it's behind me and Mr. K-Step is more me.
There you go.
Good. Yeah, I'm happy for Mr. K-Step to make its debut right here. Where's the pyro? little wrestling.
Oh my God, it's Mr. K-Step. Perfect. Well, I'm happy to have you on again, Kyle. It's always been a good chat with you, whether it's been wrestling or other stuff as we're going to chat about today. Viewers, remember, if you guys want to catch this podcast live, you can go over to twitch.tv/Enigma911 where it's up there every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, unless we pre-record or something changes. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK as well. You can go over to YouTube and SoundCloud the very next week, where it's posted out topic by topic and as one big video in MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, #ad merch store and get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So, yes, I kind of just mentioned it. Kyle and I have talked a lot of wrestling in previous times that he's been on. So I kind of wanted to flip it a little bit, talk about something a little bit different. So for topic one, I kind of want to pick your brain, Kyle, about content creation, because you're kind of in a lot of different spectrums, kind of putting your talent out there. So I guess first things first, how did you get into content creation for yourself? What like interested you into getting started?
So probably not like breaking news to anyone who's part of the KF community that has created content. But there's little known podcasts called Podcast Beyond back in the day. I stumbled across that, and I honestly, I swear, that was the first time I knew what a podcast was. Had no idea what it was. I lived like in a little bubble, didn't like whatever. And I found that just looking up for like collectibles from The Last of Us, like a walkthrough to try to find them all.
Gotcha.
And I stumbled on these guys talking PlayStation. I was like, whoa, this is a thing? I found people that also love PlayStation and love to talk about it. And so that's when I like found podcasts and listened to a bunch of other people and whatnot. But like creating my own stuff was not a thing for a very long time after that. It was not until I met more people in the community and realized that they enjoyed talking to me and hanging out. Because I'm growing up like in high school or not, I'm a very shy kid, like the type of shy where if I got called on to go read something in front of the class, like stand up in front of the class to read my paper, I legit cried in front because I was so nervous and I hated it. But yeah, it wasn't until I met more people in the community and my co-host now on the trophy room, we met at one of the Con NYC meetups that I was running, and a couple weeks we hit it off like instantly. Our chemistry was like instantly there, and a couple weeks later he hit up our Facebook group chat that we have with all like the New York area best friends, and he was like, my co-host is out for this weekly PlayStation show. Can anyone fill in? I was like, oh, I would always want to talk PlayStation. Yes, please, me. And then I thought I did okay on it. I can't listen to that episode now, Brian. I don't know if you ever go back and listen to the original ones you've done, but I'm sure it was awful. But then a few weeks later, I was going to PSX, and Joe was like, "Oh, we'll have you back on after that, so you can talk about what you've been playing, whatever." And then after that one, Joe was like, "You know what? I think we have something here. I'm gonna make you the permanent co-host because his co-host was moving on from doing it." And then it's been 3+ years of that.
Wow.
It's been, I don't know the time-wise, but like because of that, I gained confidence enough to start Best Friends Talk Funny, which was my one-on-one KF community podcast where I uplifted, or not uplifted, but like showed what the community was made of, the type of people that were in it. And then when it comes to 6-1, that's relatively new.
Right.
But we have 2 podcasts. There's a website that people write on. I don't write. I'm not a very good writer. But yeah, we have awesome people writing there, and I stream for them on Twitch every once a week or so, where people make fun of me for playing our Resident Evil and being a scaredy cat. But you know what? That's part of the fun, I guess, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yes, it seems like you're doing a lot of stuff. It must be interesting
Too
juggling
much,
all of it. Too much, yeah.
Too much, yeah. And like, not to mention, I have 3 nieces here at the house still, because I still live here at home. My sister is also pregnant again. She's gonna have a boy next month, so there's gonna be another little one here.
Exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Luckily, like, you know, I'm not working because of COVID, so I'm still here at least to like help out and whatnot. So I have more time than I think most people, but gotta make the most of it because that's gonna stop eventually.
Right, for sure.
I'm gonna have to come back to the real world, and then I'll probably be way overwhelmed with everything we're doing.
All right, nice. So with the trophy room, like, is it just the weekly podcast? Do you guys have bigger goals there that you kind of want to try and accomplish? Like, I think you've done a panel for a different group. I think 6-1 did a panel, or am I thinking wrong?
Yeah, we 6-1 we did a Pokemon panel for PAX Online last year.
So is like that something goal wise for trophy room, or is it just the podcast that you guys want to do? What's the future there?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We want to keep going and going. We did apply for a PAX panel this year. Who knows? Hopefully we get it.
Right.
I know they're very strict with what gets picked and whatnot, but yeah, we want. I think our goal with that is just to keep making the best stuff and keep spreading the word, and like ever since last summer-ish, our reviews, our listens are up like crazy. People are tuning in at like an all-time high, and we are blown away by that kind of support. That's amazing. So we want to keep that going up, and I think the next goal, if we don't get a PAX panel, or even if we do, the next goal is to be like actually working with PlayStation and getting those games early so we can preview them and be a little bit more in depth on that, and not wait for release day, and then buying it with our own money and rushing to play them and whatnot. Like that'd be a dream, is to get those big games early and then take our time with it and really enjoy it a little bit more. Not that I don't enjoy the games now, but I feel like a rush to get them done in the 3-4 days before we're recording it. Like it's a pretty quick turnaround.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to Joe. I've talked to him about being on here as well and picking his brain a little bit more about the podcast, but that's great.
Yeah, Joe's been doing content stuff way longer than than I have.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he had the PlayStation podcast for I think 10 or so episodes before I hopped on, but I think he was doing other like YouTube stuff even before then. So
gotcha.
He's been around for a while.
Cool.
The old man.
So, sticking on this PlayStation train, you've taken the experience that you had with Trophy Room, and you kind of brought it over to the kind of funny side of things this past week. So how was that experience being on PS I Love You?
Oh man, it still feels like a dream, Brett. Let me tell you, and I'm sure you know this just as well because you're on the KF podcast at one point. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around that I was on. I was in an official video on a channel that I watch like almost every day.
Right.
And someplace I hope to one day call a place of employment. Like I would love to work at Kind of Funny one day. So to have that chance to be lucky enough for Greg Miller to be my Secret Santa and for him to be so gracious enough to give me that as a gift is mind-blowing to me, to trust me enough to go on his baby with blessing and not screw it up. Yeah, I had a great time on that. If you watch the video version, I think the first 20 or 30 minutes, I was like shaking real bad. I was real nervous. I didn't want to sound like an idiot. In fact, the one thing thinking back on it that I cringe is there was another Kyle that wrote in to the show.
Oh, yeah.
And Greg kicked it to me. So what? But like, I thought he was talking to the other Kyle that wrote in, like through the the mic. So there was a good 5-second pause before I realized, oh no, me, this Kyle, I have to talk now.
Gotcha.
But like Greg and Blessing are amazing human beings, and Barrett too. He was fantastic, as somebody in the background. They do a great job of keeping people at ease and keeping them comfortable. And now that I had a taste, I want to keep going.
Right.
I want to go. I want to get back there. So it was amazing.
Nice. Good. I'm glad it was a good experience. Yeah, I remember when I went out there, I was the same way of nerves, but I was lucky enough. I was at the studio all day because I talked to Kevin about that. I was like, hey, can I do that instead of the after stuff? And he's like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So like I had the whole day where I was like, that was the nerves, and especially as everybody's rolling in the morning, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But as soon as the podcast started, I felt like that was the most I was myself, like the most comfortable. I was like, okay, I've done podcasts before with doing this, obviously. So I wish I did that more during the day because I was very quiet during the day. But
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's probably that thing of like, they're doing work.
Right.
I don't want to distract them.
Exactly.
And they have important things to do to keep this train rolling. I'll wait till I'm spoken to.
Exactly. Yeah. Fly on the wall. Just be back there.
Yeah. And like I'm sure it might have been a little bit different if like I was in studio with them doing the show. I feel like maybe I would have been a little bit more outspoken and talked to them a little bit more before or after. But because everything is virtual, like as soon as the post show was done, they had to bounce because they had other shows to do and meetings to take. So I was like, okay. Right. I mean, grateful. I thank them, but I would have loved to just sit down and pick their brain. Like, hey, Greg, how do I get in touch with PlayStation for the trophy room?
Right.
Like, that was something I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to push it because I knew they had to go. But yeah, amazing experience.
Awesome. So switching over to 6-1 Indie, formerly Kind of Funny NYC. I kind of wanted to. I think you guys might have talked about it. Was there a reason for the transition from kind of Funny NYC to officially 6-1 Indie? Like, what was the cause for that?
Yeah. The biggest thing was we were getting codes to like cover on our gaming podcast, which is now the IndieCast is what we call it now. I can't remember. Oh, it was platform agnostic beforehand.
Yeah.
We kept getting codes to cover, and my biggest thing, and also Mike and Kelsey's and Jake and Matt and everybody, we didn't want to get developers and like PR people, have them be confused and thinking that we are like an official Kind of Funny East Coast branch or whatever, because that was the thing at like PAX where Mike and we would be talking to developers about their games and whatnot and tried to describe what Kind of NYC was, and like, oh, so you're Kind of Funny in New York? No. We're just a fan group. We're a bunch of friends of the members of the community that we do East Coast meetups and blah, blah, blah. So it really just became the change was a better way to kind of like not have to worry about that. Yeah. And the last thing we wanted to do was to piss off the KF crew.
Makes sense.
And like step on their toes and think we're trying to benefit off of all their hard work for getting codes and whatnot. Like that's not our style whatsoever. So yeah, we sat down like it was like a fever dream for 2 straight days, just coming up with names. We knew we wanted to focus indie games because indies are some of our favorite gaming experiences. And we think that not enough people play them and know about them. And we look at people like Pass the Controller and Uppercut and, oh man, what's the other one? Oh God, I'm going to feel so bad after this when it comes to me, but other people in the community that cover indie games, and they do amazing jobs and amazing work with that, but we feel like there could be more, so we wanted to keep adding to that. And so it was like 2 straight days of us coming up with a name, and it was like indie this, indie that. Well, what about something like New York based? And we were like, oh, Big Apple indie or something like that. And it's like, no, it's too generic, whatever. And then Mike looked up like secret places in New York City that not many people know about, and he stumbled across Track 61, which is an abandoned subway platform underneath, I think, Grand Central, where they used to secretly get important people out, like presidents and important dignitaries out of the city without being what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
Huddled
flooded.
upon
Oh yeah.
by like the
Crowded.
public or whatever. Crowded, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's call it 6-1 Indie as a way for us to take those little known indies, like those secret indies, and bring them to the forefront of everyone's minds. Like, so we're like, oh, that's cool, and then we just ran with it. We probably should have. Looking back, we've rushed it a little too much.
Okay.
Because we dove in the deep end pretty quickly of like, all right, new website, new email addresses, within like a week, 2 weeks. Like we could have waited maybe till New Year's to just rebrand everything, but it's running smoothly now.
Good.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely for sure. It seems like you guys got your, everything together, and I mean, obviously, you got the kind of NYC like camaraderie from that, so it's just kind of flowing into this group. But yeah, it's been fun. With my work, I have a lot more time sitting around, so like I've been able to catch up on podcasts more, and like catching up on Dollar Slice and like the trophy room and stuff like that. It's been fun. Like, damn, sweet. I wish I was listening to this earlier. Like, it just seems like everybody's having a blast. So yeah, you have Dollar Slice and you have IndieCast with 6-1 Indie.
6-1 Indie.
Yeah, that you're doing now. And you mentioned the streaming before. Is the streaming something you guys want to try and do more? Is that just kind of like an extra here, or?
Yeah, we always want to do as much streaming as possible, but it's tough because I mean, like, just for me, I'm doing so much. It's hard to kind of, and this might sound like it's like in a bad way, but it's hard for me to put on a face for streaming. Streaming is so much like you need to have the energy and be there and be somewhat entertaining.
Right.
So it does take a lot out of me. It's the same thing like with substitute teaching, which is what I went to school for, of like, you're pretty much performing all day. Mm-hmm. And so even with my nieces, like I'm with them all day helping with homework and like performing and acting like, no, homework's not bad. Homework's great. But inside I'm like, oh, I hate this. I want to go play a game.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to kind of put on that face, and I never want to come on a stream and not be happy and be kind of sour and whatnot. So sometimes we take a break, but I thoroughly enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I love it, and I know Mike and Kelsey and everyone at 6-1 also loves it. So we got to find that balance. And of course, like, I'm going back to work this summer at summer camp.
Okay, cool.
So that's going to be 8-9 hours in the heat with 40 kids. I don't know how much streaming I'm going to get done during the summer, but we're gonna try to work something out.
Nice, awesome, yeah. Whenever I've tuned in, the streams have been fun. Whether it was obviously last night with your charity stream, or there was one a while back. You guys are waiting for a big Kojima announcement, and we're playing Fall Guys. It was fun, just hanging out.
So good. That was so good. Yeah, I forget. Well, it was the year anniversary of Death Stranding or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Or like Kojima Day, whatever. Yeah. And Kojima was teasing like 5 announcements, and every hour he would drop something. But the first one was, we'll see you in an hour for another announcements. And me and Mike were like, oh my God. All right, let's just play Fall Guys and see this through, because there might be a Death Stranding PS5 port. Like, that'd be amazing. But nope, it was a t-shirt. It was a behind-the-scenes look at him getting his award statues. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Waste of time. But Fall Guys is fun. So.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
And then you guys have also done some Extra Life streams that have been very successful. So what's that been like, doing the Extra Life streams?
Easily my favorite stuff I've ever done because of the money raised for a good cause. Those have been fantastic. Last year was a little bit tough just because it was the first time of us doing it remotely.
Yeah. And
then, at least personally, it didn't feel quite the same. Mm-hmm. Still raised a bunch of money, which was amazing. But it's I enjoy goofing around with these morons with me and just raising money and playing games to raise money for a good cause, because I used to do those by myself before I got like super involved into the community. And I remember, I think it was my second year I was playing and I actually fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, okay, yep.
I didn't have a camera or anything, so nobody knew.
Uh-huh.
But the stream just kept running. I was like, "Oh man, this is an embarrassment." But it's definitely way more fun when you do it with other people, whether it's remotely or together. And what better way to use gaming as a vehicle for good? Like
Right.
it's so nice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's definitely easier with people. Like that's something I always did was I would just invite a bunch of friends over, at least for the first
Yeah.
12 hours and be like, okay, let's play stuff. And then I can kind
Yeah.
of take the back seat of like, I don't have to be in the forefront right now because I got the back half 12 hours. And I'm like, all right, that's the time I
Yeah.
got to focus. And then,
Yeah.
this last year was definitely a change. Luckily, I had Kate helping me out. So it was us two. And it ran better than I thought. Like we decided to play Mario Party throughout the day and just do a best of
Sweet.
7, and that people seemed to really like that and enjoy it. And then the back half wasn't as tough as I remember it being. Like I had
Yeah.
a similar instance with the couch one year. I was like, I just kept like nodding off, like no, don't do that.
The first year we did it in person, we went to our friend's John's house in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and we were in his basement, and everyone fell asleep around us except for Mike and I. And I remember playing Tetris Effect
Ooh, okay.
at like 4 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and nailing it.
Nice.
In my sleep deprived state and nailing it. And I remember Mike being next to me be like, Kyle, oh my God, this is the best I've ever seen anyone play Tetris. How are you doing this? And I just look over like, what?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, those are always good. I could never get a full night's sleep though before an extra life stream.
Oh,
So
just
it
all the
always is
excitement.
like the excitement, or we're up way too late making sure everything runs good.
Yep.
And runs perfectly, so we don't have to worry about that in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So like the last 3 extra lives that we've done, I think I've had a total maybe 4 hours sleep each one.
Oh, Jesus,
And
okay.
then stay up for 24 hours. It's not good on the mental and physical health. Let me tell you.
Right. Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm glad like everything's running well for you. Hopefully with the summertime, like you mentioned, the summer camp, things can still run smoothly. It's not too stressful. And heading into hopefully this year, hopefully Extra Life's a little bit more normal and you can get back to the full swing of those things.
I hope so. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, guys, go check out 61 Indie. They're around. I'll put everything in the info down below in the edit. 61 Indie. Go check out Trophy Room and go check out Kyle on Twitter. His thing's right there. So everything's there.
It's me.